feel like a statue on a doubles court, growing tree roots, not moving anywhere?
Don't just watch your partner play a cross-court rally, watch this video instead.
All right, so today we are taking you through a couple of tips when you are the defensive volleyer. Now, defensive isn't the word, hence the inverted commas. We are actually looking at the returner's partner, and the reason they might not necessarily be defensive is because there's lots of other things happening. Doubles is an incredibly tactical game. It's incredibly dynamic. So much is changing all the time, and what we see is players standing around, doing nothing, looking around, not really sure what's going on.
Let's put an end to that. Let's get you involved at the net. It's not just about the server's partner, it's also about the returner's partner, the defensive volleyer, should we say, trying to get involved and alter the outcome of points. Let's get into it. So in doubles, we sort of have a default position for everyone on the court. You've got the server, you've got the returner, you've got the returner's partner, you've got the server's partner, and they are all roughly positioned like so.
Yes, the issue with this is that we are playing with no information. This is a default position. Really, if we look at that returning partner, the volleyer for the returning player, that position just behind the service line, traditionally, and we've heard this being taught to people, is to cool the help your partner cool the service line. We're moving above that, we're moving beyond that. There's far more going on, and essentially we need to start planning and predicting what we think is going to happen next.
Yes, so tip number one really is to get your positioning right, and you get that right by adjusting it depending on the situation.
Yes, we are essentially using any information we've got, even if it's just the warm-up from the serve return warm-up you've done before the game starts, or later on in the match, all the tennis you've already played. But you should start to gather a bit of an idea about who has the advantage. And we are essentially looking for which team, after the serve and the return has been played, is going to be ahead, or who's more likely to be attacking. If, as the returner's volleyer, you think it is yourself, well, you're going to go and stand much closer to the net. Conversely, if after every single serve and return your partner is getting hammered and every ball's being popped up, you are obviously defending, you're going to come and stand way further back.
So a lot of people will make this shift between a first and second serve anyway. Totally legit.
And expected.
Yeah, but why not be a bit better than that? Why not think a little bit more? Take some more information from what you're getting and adjust beforehand. Adjust to the player you're playing and the partner and the team that you're playing with and the team you're playing against. Make some decisions that way.
Yes, you get huge differences between opponents' first and second serves, and we see maybe a little step forwards, a little step back. So it's just about matching your position to the expectation.
Easy peasy. Tip number two, if you're the returner's partner, the defensive volleyer, potentially, where is the next threat coming from?
Yes, so you've decided, based on the evidence you've got, that you're very likely that your partner is going to be attacking. You've crept in a little bit. Now, the point has started, serve's come over, your partner has clubbed that return. Well, what do you look at? You're no point looking at the net player anymore. They're completely out of the game. You need to shift your focus across to the server because they are playing the next shot. Again, as soon as that ball's come back, who's going to hit it at you next? It's going to be that net player.
Yeah.
So eyes come back across.
As soon as the ball's back and it's past me, my focus is going to shift to the volleyer because that is where the next threat comes from.
Yes, it is always the player on the opposing team who is closer to you. They're the one who is more likely to hit the ball next, and if they do, they're the one you need to be responding to. So, when you are playing doubles, your head should be doing something like this.
It should not be doing this. So if you feel like a statue that's watching the point go by, looking back to your partner, looking back to the returner, looking back to your partner, oh, they've intercepted and you've taken one right in the chest, do this instead. Next threat.
Obviously, you were taught, we teach people, you got to watch the ball when you play tennis. And this is the point. You watch the ball when it's coming towards you. You don't need to watch the ball when it's going away. When it's going away, you need to watch your opponents. Your opponents are going to provide you with all the information you need to make a good decision. Your partner, not really. It doesn't matter what your partner's doing, because your opponents are going to tell you what your partner is doing by how they're moving. And that brings us very nicely onto what you then do with this information. You've identified your threat and they have done something. Now we need to respond.
Your movement is absolutely vital. If you see that attacking volleyer moving up, coming across, looking like he's going to make a volley, you better start moving back.
Yes, they are saying everything you need to know.
Doubles happens very, very quickly because there are players very often at the net. So if you not taking the information from in front of you and taking it from behind, you're going to miss the key bit, and it's all going to happen so quickly. That's when you get pinged.
Yes. Now we've got a whole video on this, but essentially we're looking for, what do they look like? Do they look happy and comfortable and attacking, or are they under pressure? Guess what? If they're under pressure and they're looking like they're about to defend, you're going to move up, you're going to move in. You're no longer a defensive volleyer. That's why we didn't like to use that phrase. You are now the attacking volleyer looking to finish that point off.
We see it so often in club doubles and even to a good standard of doubles where those positions are so static that you're not taking advantage. For example, if I'm playing, my partner plays the ball in deep, I'm closing in. If that ball then is a good cross-court ball back, I'm going back because my focus has shifted. The threat comes from somewhere else. Ball goes cross-court, goes deep, I move in. Ball comes back, I move back. It is constant movement. It is not just a side-to-side movement. You're constantly moving in and out to give yourself the best opportunity to end the point, or at least take control of it.
Yes, and the worst case scenario here is you are at least being a nuisance. You're impacting the game. You know, there's two very good players on the baseline, they're hammering the ball and you're kind of standing there, and this is essentially the problem we are addressing today. I don't know what to do. Don't do nothing.
Yes.
Do something.
Do something, for goodness sake.
The last thing I'd like to add,
Yeah.
little bonus tip for you here, is there's one sort of overarching concept we've sort of taken as standard here, and this is ego. Now, when you're deciding, or at least predicting, where you're going to stand, you have to make a decision egolessly about the potential outcome. If you think your partner is going to be defending, like you've got an amazing serve down the other end, and they're going to be under pressure, that's not bad. It's just the reality of the situation you are in. You can't start layering, oh, I don't want to do. That's going to cause you. It's going to cause you all kinds of problems. It is a very honest reflection of what you think is going to happen next. If you have to start every single point with both players back behind the baseline because you've got, I don't know, John Isner and Ben Shelton on the other end, that's going to be the thing to do. And the other way around, right? If you've got a terrible second serve coming from the other end of the court, there is nothing wrong with starting right at the net already. It is a tennis problem that we get a bit worried about upsetting the balance.
Yeah, about the etiquette.
Yeah, the etiquette.
Got a video on that as well.
There you go. So just take the information, look at it objectively, and plan accordingly.
In summation, get your starting position right. Look in the right place, which is not back, but at your opponents, and take your information from there, and then move accordingly. And I promise you, this will make doubles easier. It will make your volleying easier because you're in the right place. You're not digging it off your toes. You're not firing it up. But do these three things, doubles gets easy, and easy is fun.
Well, yeah, it makes doubles far more fun as well because you are always doing something.
As always, don't forget to like, follow, share with your friends, and definitely subscribe so you never miss a thing from PH Tennis.